Hey, what's up, fellas? I was buried in some threads one night a long time ago, deep down in the forums, reading about running plasma tables, and somebody brought up the subject of submersion or no submersion when it comes to cutting stainless steel. And tonight, I definitely learned for sure a very important detail as to whether or not you want to completely submerge a sheet of metal. Check this out. So, tonight, I was cutting these long strips, and the second strip I cut, I got to thinking to myself, you know, there ain't enough water on that table. I was about 3/8 of an inch down from these blades. And no sooner than I said that, this piece started to buckle up. It had a buckle about that tall on it, maybe a little taller than my hand can show you. Now the torch was tracking, and it was crawling up the hill that it was making, and it crawled back down it. And it successfully cut the piece, but man, did that really mess me up pretty bad. It messed up this whole piece, so I immediately turned the pump back on to get some more water flooded into the table. And the next piece was a little bit better, but the table wasn't quite full. And I got down to this last piece, and that seemed to be enough to reduce the buckling significantly. So now I know for a fact that the question of whether you completely submerge the sheet or not, you absolutely should if you're going to do long cuts on stainless steel. The heat flow is just too minimal, and a lot of bad stuff can happen if you don't do it. I watched it with my own eyes. I've never seen a piece buckle that bad, but then again, I've never ran the table that low. Just one of those freak incidents where enough water had leaked through my drain over the last couple days that I'd ran the table, you know, suboptimal, and that's kind of what happened. But just wanted to share that with you. I can't tell you guys what I'm building, but you may get to see it operating. This is the bottom portion. It's all 1/8 inch stainless, and yeah, definitely could probably use a little bit more water in here. I think next time I cut a piece this size, I'm going to have the entire sheet completely submerged in water. That would definitely help the distortion of the sheet. It causes a lot more problems than I wanted to deal with. It doesn't bother the torch in the slightest bit. You could have this thing 1/4 inch underwater and it would be just fine with it. It's not a problem. It would make a huge mess. That's the one thing about it. Having water on top of that sheet is going to make a mess every time it starts. Once it gets going, it kind of creates like a Moses Red Sea action going on there, and you can go across the ocean.